Class?
Yes.
So we're going to play a game this morning. Maya, you're going to get the first card. I'm going to mix it up a little bit. So this is a homophone game. Can somebody raise your hand and tell me what a homophone is? Okay, look, what's a homophone?
You try to match.
Try to match.
Cards.
No, a homophone. Lois? Not matching.
Plurals.
No. A homophone is a word that looks the same, but the different spellings give for different meanings, right?
Yeah.
So what you're going to do with these cards is you're going to read the whole card. The whole card, okay? Alright, Maya, you read our... So what you're going to do is you're going to read the card in its entirety, okay? Demaya's going to start, she's going to read the whole card. At the bottom of this card, there's going to be a question. Like on her card, read your card, Demaya.
I have the first card. Who has the most important part?
What's a word that means the most important part?
I have the second card.
It's the main. Main. I have main. M-A-I-N. And then you're going to read that question.
Who has the long hair on the sides and backs of animals' necks?
And then you give me that one. Jerry? Shake your card and see if you have a card that means like a hair with animal with big. The animal that has big hair. What is that called? What is a lion's? Lion's
Hair?
mane.
That.
Yes, read it.
Who has the past?
No, you have to read the entire thing.
I have made. M-A-N-E. Who has the past tense of the verb make?
He said, I have mane. M-A-N-E. Who has the past tense of the verb make? Everybody look at your cards.
I have made. Who has a person who is made housework? A maid, right?
So read it.
I have made. Who has a small mammal with long ears?
Who has a small mammal with long ears? Everybody look at your card and see if it's an animal that has big ears. Read it. Say it loud. Yell it, Victor. I have hair. H-A-R-E. Who has a thin thread-like strand that grows from the skin of humans or other animals? So he had hair. Who has the other hair? You read it, Ariana.
I have hair. H-A-I-R. Who has light in color?
So who has a word that means light in color? What does it mean to be light in color? Like your skin is light in color. You look pale. You look pale. See, this is the right one. Not white. Read it.
I have pale. P-A-L-E. Who has a black
A bucket. The bucket. Who has bucket?
Oh.
All right, Dante, that's your word. Read it. It says, I have pale, P-A-I-L. Who has a man or boy? What's another word for a male? What does that say? I have male, M-A-L-E. So what does that one say?
Who has letters and packages
Uh-huh.
delivered by the
Postal.
postal service?
What is that, those things, like letters and packages you receive in the mail, what are those called?
Letters.
Mail. They're called mail. Who has mail? Cotton, read it. exchange goods for money. Kind of rhymes with mail.
Cookie.
It's a sale. Who has sale? Read it.
I have sales. Who has a
Need help? Large piece
piece
of cloth
cloth
attached
attached
to
to a boat?
What is that large piece of cloth attached to a boat called? It's the same word, just spelled different. A sail. Who has sail? Read it.
I have sail. S-A-I-L. Who has a sheet of glass in a window or door?
What is that called? The sheet of glass in a window. That's a window
One. Pine?
pane.
Pain.
Pane. Cotton, what's your word?
Pain.
Pane.
I have pain. Who has
Physical.
physical hurt or discomfort?
Physical hurt or discomfort. We said window pane. What kind of pain is that talking about? When you get hurt, that's called what?
Pain.
Pain. Who has that pain? Read it.
I have pain. P-A-I-N. Who has a flat or level surface?
What is a flat or level surface called? We learned it in landmarks in science.
Landmine.
Huh? Say it, Anna. You said it. Plane. Did we learn about landmarks this year?
No.
Plane.
Nope. No.
Okay. Without. What does it mean if you don't have anything extra or simple?
Useless.
It's the same word.
Useless.
Plain.
Lane.
Read it. It's okay. Pick it up, baby. Who has to use or spend in a careless way? We did talk about this one in science. What is it called when you throw something away carelessly?
Wasteful.
Say that beginning part.
Waste.
Waste. Who has waste? Human body. Between chest and hips. What is this part of your body called?
Hip.
Your clothes. What? This is your waist. So who has the waist as in like your hip? Your waist. And you have it. I have waist. Who has a complicated network of paths or paths designed to confuse those who travel through them? We have these at Halloween time. They're corn maze. It's a corn maze. You have it? Read it.
It's a corn. I have a M-A-I-Z.
Oh, that's a different one. That's a different one. What's yours, Malaysia? Read it.
I have maze. Who has other name or
So this kind of maze is M-A-Z-E. When you hear them talk about a corn maze, it's like confusing pathways, whatever. It's for fun. Now the one that Levi has is a different kind of maze. This is another word for corn. What does yours say? His is I have maze, M-A-I-Z-E. That A-I makes that long A sound, but that's another word for corn. It says who has a story? Jasmine's all written.
I have tail, T-A-L-E. Who has the rear part of an animal's body that sticks out from the backbone?
Tail.
Tail. And I have tail. And that's the end of the game.
Yay.
Yay. Love that. We did it. It's so hard.
No one.
But what are those words called that we just looked at?
Homophones.
Homophones. Good job. Why are homophones tricky?
Because it sounds like another word, but it's not.
Be
It's
able to
not
spell
spelled the same
the
way.
table to difference.
Wait. Raise your hand. Tommy, why are homophones tricky?
Because they sound the same, but they're not the spelled the same.
Which one of those words do you feel like was the hardest in that game? Raise your hand. I'm going to call 3 people. Which one do you think is the hardest one, Xavier? Corn, the maize one. I do feel like that one was hard. Tommy, which one was hard?
The one that
Which one, baby?
they
The one that Zay had? Zay, which word did you have? You can't remember? What about you, Chlois? The corn maze. That was really the hard one. So homophones are tricky. But being able to determine which one you need is going to make you an excellent writer. So I'm going to have you guys open up your mentor text. We're going to look at the fox and the goose, okay? Yes, baby. You may throw that away.
Fox and the geese.
The fox and the goose. Yes. Gotta have fox and the geese on. Sure,
Oh, geese.
so guys, what have we been trying to learn this week? Anybody tell me what your learning targets were this week? We're working to build vocabulary. Raise your hand if somebody reads this off the board for me. Victor, say it loud. Determine. So what do we use to find the meaning of unknown words? What do we look for in the stories or the sentence? Oh, girl, we don't look for homophones. Lois? Context clues. You guys know context clues and ask it for it in benchmark every week. So if we look at the tiny words at the bottom, that's our standard. I'm not going to read it to you, but you guys get to experience it. You'll know you are successful when you can recognize when words are spelled incorrectly. Right? You can kind of tell whenever a word doesn't look right. When you can use a dictionary to check words if you don't know how to spell them. Or use an online dictionary to check words that you don't know how to spell. So we're going to take a little bit of a brain break and we're going to read just a little bit of this. I'm going to leave you guys on a cliffhanger. This Albert is going to finish it. This is a folk tale, a little fable of why mosquitoes buzz in people's ears. So everybody put your pencils down and we're going to listen for just a minute. So this tale is from West Africa, okay? We're looking at why mosquitoes buzz. One morning a mosquito saw an iguana drinking at a water hole. The mosquito said, "Iguana, you would never believe what I saw yesterday." "Try me," said Iguana. The mosquito said, "I saw a farmer digging yams that were almost as big as I am." "What's a mosquito compared to a yam?" said the iguana grumpily. "I'd rather be deaf than listen to such nonsense." Then he stuck 2 sticks in his ears and went off through reeds. That's what he said. He said, "Mick." The iguana was still grumbling to himself when he happened to pass the python. What's a python?
What's up, snake?
It's a snake. The big snake raised his head and said, "Good morning, iguana." The iguana did not answer, but lumbered on, bobbing his head. Ba-da-ma, ba-da-ma, ba-da-ma. "Now why won't he speak to me?" said Iguana to himself. "Iguana must be angry about something. I'm afraid he's plotting some mischief against me." He began looking for somewhere to hide. The first likely place he found was a rabbit hole, and in it he went. When the rabbit saw the big snake coming into her burrow, she was terrified. She scurried out through the back way and bounded crick, 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 through the clearing. What do you notice about the characters we've met so far? What's one
That
thing? Say it, Tommy.
that they all have that they all once they walk off they have
Yeah, they have certain sounds. What do these animals can do that others can't? You can say it out loud.
they can move.
They can talk. Thank you, Dante. So that's how they act like people, right? Because people talk, and these animals are talking. A crow saw the rabbit running for her life. He flew into the forest, crying, "Caw, caw!" It was his duty to spread the alarm in case of danger. A monkey heard the crows. He was sure that some dangerous beast was prowling near. He began screeching and leaping killy-willy through the trees to help warn the other animals. As the monkey was crashing through the treetops, he happened to land on a dead limb. It broke and fell on an owl's nest, killing one of the owlets. Oh no, it hurt one of the babies. Mother Owl was not at home. For though she usually hunted only in the night, this morning she was still out searching for one more tidbit to satisfy her hungry babies. When she returned to the nest, she found one of them dead. Her other children told her that the monkey had killed it. All that day and all that night she sat in the tree. So sad, so sad, so sad. Now it was Mother Owl who woke the sun each day so that the dawn could come. But this time, when she should have hooted for the sun, she did not do it. The night grew longer and longer. The animals of the forest knew it was lasting much too long. They feared that the sun would never come back. In some fairy tales, characters have magic powers. Who has the magic powers in this story? Tommy?
The bird, the owl.
The owl. What magic power does she have?
She can make the sun rise.
Right. At last, King Lion called a meeting of the animals. They came and sat down around a council fire. Mother Owl did not come, so the antelope was sent to fetch her. When she arrived, King Lion asked, "Mother Owl, why have you not called the sun? The night has lasted long, 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 and everyone is worried." Mother Owl said, "Monkey killed one of my owlets. Because of that, I cannot bear to wake the sun." The king said to the gathered animals, "Did you hear? It was the monkey who killed the owlet, and now Mother Owlet won't wake the sun so that the day can come." What does it mean to fetch someone, Cotton? To go get them. Why did King Lion send the antelope to fetch Mother Owl? Why did they call the meeting? Because it was still
Dark.
it was still dark. Who wakes up the sun? Mother Owl. So she's got to be at the meeting, right? Why do you think? Well, we already answered that one. Why do you think King Lion calls the meeting of the animals? Because the night was lasting too long, right? Then King Lion called the monkey. He came before him, nervously glancing from side to side. Everybody nervously glanced from side to side, like you're nervous. "Monkey," said the king, "why did you kill one of Mother Owl's babies?" "Oh, king," said the monkey, "it was the crow's fault. He was calling and warning us of danger, and I went leaping through the trees to help. A limb broke under me and I fell on the owl's nest." The king said to the council, "So it was the crow who alarmed the monkey who killed the owlet, and now Mother Owl won't wake the sun so the day can come." Then the king came for Crow. The big bird came flapping up. He said, King Lion, it was the rabbit's fault. I saw her running for her life in the daytime. Wasn't that reason enough to spread an alarm? The king nodded his head and said to council, so it was the rabbit who startled the crow, who alarmed the monkey, who killed the owlet, and now Mother Owl won't wake the sun so the day can come. And that's where I'm going to stop. Because what do you think they're going to do next?
They're gonna call the rabbit.
They're going to call the rabbit. And then the rabbit is going to tell them what?
The
snake.
snake.
The snake. Then the snake's going to say what? It was the iguana. What's the iguana going to say?
It was the mosquito. The
Mosquito. And then we'll have to figure out how it ties into why they buzz, right? So we went through that one. So you're going to open up your mentor text. Do you know two people with the same name?
Yes.
You do know two people with the same name. What's their name? We have one in this class. They go by their nickname. Zay. We got Zay and Zay. Does it ever get confusing when you talk to someone about him or her? Like if we call Zay, and they both look, right? That can get a little confusing. The same can happen when words that sound the same but mean something different. They're called homophones. Sometimes these words are spelled the same, such as bat. We need context to figure out what exactly they're saying. Other times they are spelled differently, such as the wind blew and the color blue. This can help when we read, but it can also be confusing when we don't recognize the spelling. The learning target is you'll be able to identify, use, and explain the meaning of homophones in a text. You'll use context to determine the meaning of multiple meaning words. In a previous lesson, we discussed using context to determine the meaning of multiple meaning words. If I say I swung the bat at the baseball, you can figure that I'm talking about a baseball bat, not an animal, right? Today we're going to continue building our vocabulary skills by investigating homophones. Did we read The Fox and the Geese yesterday?
Yes, ma'am.
We did read The Fox and the Geese. Can somebody raise your hand and tell me about the story? Somebody that I haven't caught on. Ariana. What happens in The Fox and the Geese?
The fox and he tries to keep them up. The geese said, let them sing a song, but then
They just sing.
so they don't get
They don't get eaten, right? How can I determine the meaning of a homophone? I want everybody to look at your mentor text and I want you to find the word whale. You're going to look. Raise your hand when you find whale. Robert, where did you find whale?
Page 8.
Page 8. Read the sentence.
The geese called Will
Terror.
tell they
Spray.
got up and a beginning to wail.
To whale. This is the word whale, like W-A-I-L. What is it, Victor? Do it, baby? Not right now, baby. It makes me picture a big animal that swims in the ocean. What is it, Tommy? It's the what, baby?
It's the job.
The whale? What do you mean, the whale?
The job.
The job? What job? What does whale mean? Like you cry. You scream. You cry. That's what that whale means. But when we think about whale, like a whale in the ocean, and we put it into the sentence, it doesn't really make sense. I know whale, as in the animal, is spelled W-H-A-L-E. This is a homophone that sounds the same, but it means something different. I want you to underline the words cackled and begged around the word whale. And the phrase beside themselves with fear. Everybody underline it. heard people talking about babies wailing, meaning that they cry loudly. I can confirm that meaning with words and phrases around wails, such as cackled, begged, and beside themselves with fear, all of these sound like crying loudly, right? Like somebody's wailing. Whenever you, like say you fall off the trampoline and you break your arm, you're going to be wailing. What is it, Ariana? I hope. Gotta help our friend. Wail, cackle, beg, beside themselves with fear. If I said I need time for dinner, you would probably think of T-I-M-E, right? Like as if I need time to make dinner, like I need hours or minutes as in time. But you know time is a seasoning? There's a seasoning called time. However, T-H-I-Y-M-E is also pronounced time, and it's an herb. I could be clearer by saying I need to buy time for dinner, right? Like you need to go to the store and you need to buy the herb time for dinner. Usually the context or different spelling of a homophone will make its meaning clear, but sometimes homophones can be extra confusing because we think that we know something that we don't. When a word we think we know doesn't make sense in context, we can look for clues that is a homophone and keep that in mind as we try to figure it out. Now it's your turn to practice with your table, guys. We're going to turn and talk as you turn to page 9. And you're going to look on page 9 and I want you to find at least one homophone. And what is the meaning of that homophone as it's written in the sentence? There are some written up here, but I want you guys to be able to tell me what those actually mean. On page 9. Look on page 9 and find the homophones.
Attention patient. She did not make any. She wouldn't make. To make no interest on until the roof is coyote and fox still fox until the fox leaves them alone and they get to go off running to their lives.
Xavier, baby, you got to wake up.
Forever and ever, and I'm still seeing them to this day. Yeah. What about you?
No, baby, that's a really boy.
You is a big boy. He said he's going to be 11. Not to make it. You can.
All right, babies. Class.
Yes.
Raise your hand. Tell me which ones you found, Tommy.
Wood.
Wood? Which wood are we talking about?
We're talking about the
Like you would do something, or are you talking about tree wood?
wood do something.
Would do something. Cotton was another one.
Geese.
That's a regular plurals. I only know one geese, boy. Goose and geese are irregularly plural nouns, baby. They're not homophones. It's okay. Ariana? 2? Which 2 are we talking about? We're doing something. Chlois? Wait. What's the other way? Wait. So today we explored identifying, explaining, and using homophones in text. As you read on your own today, keep an eye out for homophones. They can be tricky because you look at the word and you automatically know what it means, but you know that the way that word sounds, it could be used in another way. So you guys need to look for those today. Write one and its meaning on a sticky note. Select the correct meaning and be ready to share with your partner later. I want you guys to get out your word studies. You're going to turn out earlier now. Shame. Page 4. Class.
Yes.
Listen as I read this, and as I read it, I want you to circle irregularly plural verbs. Nouns, not verbs. Okay, guys? As I read it, okay? I want you to be looking for them, and then we're going to talk about it after we find them, okay?
Hello.
That was your word study. That one.
Yes. Okay.
Alrighty, guys. Emma's secret dream. Emma's favorite day of the week was Thursday, when the stagecoach came to town. As soon as the stagecoach arrived, Emma's dad removed the harness from the team of tired horses. Emma took them to the stable while her dad harnessed a fresh team. Meanwhile, the people on the stagecoach went to the hotel to eat a meal. Emma liked watching the women in their fine dresses, capes, and scarves. She always wondered what their lives were like. At night in her room, she made up stories about these women and wrote them in her journal. Emma had decided that someday she too would travel in a stagecoach and visit faraway places. While she traveled, she would write stories about all the interesting women and men she met. She hadn't told anyone about her plan yet, not even her dad. For now, it was her secret dream. Raise your hand and tell me the homophone you found. Tommy.
Wood.
Would. Sound, remove, she took them.
Her paragraph she would write.
Oh, okay. Would. Got it. Robert.
Lives.
Lives. Got it. You guys circle these as we're circling them on the board. Madison.
Wood.
2. See if I can find 2. Which paragraph, baby?
Second.
2. Got it. Those are some homophones. We're also looking for irregularly spelled plural nouns. We got lives. What about stories? How is story spelled?
S-T-O-R-I.
That's plural. But for a singular story, it's S-T-O-R-Y.
Yep.
So we have stories, lives. What about scarves?
Yep.
How do you have multiple scarves, but then you have one scarf, right? It's irregularly spelled. Let's see if it's on. We know women and men. Dresses is ES. It doesn't necessarily count. Stories, we already said that one. No, not Thursday. I think we got them all. They're all in the. Make sure you got these circled. How would you describe Emma?
Women and men.
I got. It's okay, baby. It's okay. Take a second. What words would you describe? How would you describe Emma? Tommy. She is secretive. She is secretive. What else? What did she do when her dad got back? What does she have to do with the tired horses? Put them in the stable. So she's what? She's helpful. She's handy. Why was the arrival of the stagecoach her favorite event of the week?
Because he would bring a sheep because she wanted to see the woman.
The women and men, right? And their fancy dresses and the way they were dressed, and she wondered what kind of lives they lived. So what can you say that her dad does?
Helpful?
He
No.
brings people, right? He brings people, he hooks up some new horses. It's almost like an old-timey taxi, if you think about it. The stagecoach. He goes and he picks people up, then he drops people off, then he gets new horses, and then he goes picks up more people and then drops them back off.
Have you ever
Do you think her secret is possible? Do you think she could achieve that? Think so?
never give up on it?
Yes. What do you dream of doing when you grow up?
Being a football.
I do want to hear a few of these now. Come on. Jerry, what do you want to do when you grow up?
Being a
Speak up, Jerry.
football.
A football player, that's awesome. Victor, what do you want to be when you grow up? Football player? We got a lot of football players. Clovis, what do you want to be? A doctor. Caleb?
Or in the army.
In the army. Madison, what do you want to do when you grow up? A doctor. Ariana? A dentist? That's awesome. So specific. Tommy? Football player. Robert?
Basketball player.
Basketball player. Demaya?
I'll play this side and pull you
Listen now. Pull me over. Cotton.
Football player.
So many football players and doctors in here. Okay. So, listen. Alrighty, guys. Tomorrow we're gonna move on to another lesson. We'll be done with this week's lesson tomorrow. You also have your spelling test, your benchmark test,
Your DLR test.
and your DLR test tomorrow. Okay. Alrighty, guys. So we're about to move to small groups. It's time for Miss Gardner's group to first group to line up. You're getting ready to go.
Don't knock over again.
Please do not hit the right button.
The red one?